Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. Glad everybody could be with me on this good Monday. Please make sure you subscribe to me on Apple, SoundCloud, Spotify, and of course on YouTube. I'm on Instagram at I'm Not Repeating Myself Pod, and I'm also on TikTok at I'm Not Repeating Myself Pod. Hope everybody had a good weekend, man. I know I definitely did, except for, what was that, Saturday night? Saturday night I was fucked up. I was fucked up. I ain't been sick like that in probably since 10 years. 2016. I ate something that fucked me up. Boy, I was out for the count. And nonetheless, once all that got out the system, I was drinking some fluids, getting back rejuvenated. So, of course, I can record the show for y'all because I can't miss a week. We about what? This about to be what? 28 straight weeks? So, yeah, man, glad I could be with y'all, because I was definitely out for the count. I was about to pull some Jordan flu game type shit and get it shaking if I had to, but I feel a lot better now. One thing about them stomach pains, man, that shit really make you feel like you really about to go see the man upstairs, bro. That shit there is a different type of pain. I don't know if I'd rather have a migraine or a real bad stomach virus. I don't know. If you had to pick, I don't know, y'all could probably let me know. But that shit had me fucked up. But nonetheless, we're back. And I'm here to talk the shit with y'all. So, first up, I got to put the Democrats on the Summer Jam screen, man. So, if you remember last week, I kind of spoke about the shutdown. Gave some information, some background as regards to the shutdown. What's going on with the shutdown. Why it's happening and shit like that. So, they reached an agreement that same night. I think it had to have been Sunday night. Yeah, it had to be Sunday night. They reached an agreement Sunday night to end the government shutdown after a record 40 days. Basically, we could say 40 days. So when I seen that, and I seen that the Democrats didn't get nothing but to vote on it in December as far as the healthcare subsidies, I'm like, oh, so what the fuck was all this for? What was all of this for? And see, this is why I don't blindly follow a party. That's not to say I'm rolling with, Republicans and none of that. But I just don't blindly follow a party. So we did all of this government shutdown shit. People wasn't getting their benefits, wasn't getting paid, shit like that. And people was like, yeah, man, stick this shit out. We thinking the Democrats was really gonna hold it down. And it's not like they didn't have leverage. They had all the leverage. So this would just make this more just egregious play more than anything, because what was it for? What was this 40-day shutdown for if you didn't get anything? What was it for if you didn't get anything? I want to name those on the Democratic Party the 8 who voted for this shit to end. You got Senator Tim Kaine, Senator John Fetterman, Senator Angus King, Senator Cortez Masto, Senator Jean Shaheen, Senator Maggie Hassan, Senator Jackie Rosen, Senator Dick Durbin. Now, a few of these I'm definitely not surprised, Durbin and Fetterman. But when I seen the excuses Fetterman had, I'm like, bro, this shit don't even make no sense. So the basis is you're going to vote in December, which they're not going to vote in approval for, because the big, beautiful bill, even though it's not fully implemented yet, it goes against it. They're not gonna vote for that shit. They're not going to vote for it. But the fact that you think you're going to be able to hold them accountable, because that's why I hear a lot of them say we're going to be able to hold them accountable. No, you're not. No, you're not. This was the same deal that was on the table at the beginning of the fucking shutdown, October 1st. You should have just took it then and saved all of this madness. You should have just took the fucking deal in October if you was gonna do this, because it was for nothing. You had the people backing you. And see, this is why when we go, especially in my state, because we got midterms coming up next year, voting new governors and stuff like that. This is really gonna be a L for the Democratic Party, 100%. Because the people was rolling with you. The people was rolling. You dropped the ball completely. They should not have folded like that. This is nothing more than a fold. We don't have to paint it no other way. This is completely what it was. This was the same deal again that you had at the beginning of the fucking shutdown. So you dragged it out for nothing. People suffered. People lost their jobs. People were still showing up to work, for the benefit of the people, even though they wasn't getting a check. And for you to just fold to Republicans and all you get was a fucking promise. And Chuck Schumer, head of the team, your team wasn't on the same page. You supposed to be the leader. So the fact that you didn't get your team on the same page, all of them gotta go. All of them gotta go. I say that to say all of them just gotta go. Because this didn't make no sense. It didn't benefit nobody. People suffered. And you didn't get anything but a fucking promise. A pinky promise that they're gonna vote on the healthcare subsidies in December, which they're not gonna vote in favor for. They're not going to do that. So I just hope going forward, man, people really do their due diligence. Don't blindly follow a party. Don't blindly vote. Oh, vote blue no matter who bullshit. Nah. Because Democrats continue to show time and time again that they really just the little pups in this shit, honestly. This is the time that they had the most leverage that they had in a long time. Especially when you look at the other cities that had major victories in their cities. Detroit, you had Mondami in New York, you had somebody else in Virginia, I can't remember the name right now. But they was having a good week. And then you do this fuck shit. Now, if we wasn't gonna be able to fly in Thanksgiving, so what? So what? That's not a consistent occurrence. So a part of it tells me that they was in bed with each other and they probably got, they got a check cut from the airlines, whatever the case may be. When it comes to this government shit, man, it's a whole bunch of sneaky and snake shit going on. But if people weren't going to be able to fly for Thanksgiving for the betterment of making sure you secure these healthcare subsidies, then so be it. People will be okay. Again, that's not something that's a frequent occurrence, but man, this shit was nasty. But yeah, the government shutdown is over all because of these 8 senators who voted to open this shit back up and just get nothing but a promise. But man, next year is going to be very interesting nonetheless. And I'm hoping that, people really open up their eyes more so that we have all the information out here. And I'm a firm believer in believing people when they show you who they are. Don't blindly, all these promises, all these bullshit ass promises. None of that. Your vote doesn't, and people get it fucked up. We don't work for the government. The government works for the people. You're supposed to do for the betterment of the people. You are nothing without the people. So all this, give me your vote and you ain't getting nothing exchange shit, that shit is over with. Shit is over with. I'm encourage everybody to please make sure they do their due diligence, do your proper research, and just not blindly vote because a motherfucker say so. And even with you listening to me, and make sure, even after you listen to this episode, you go do your proper research. But a major L for the Democrats. Major fucking L for the Democrats, man. Like it was for nothing. It was for nothing. Could have saved the heart and headache. You should have just took the fucking deal in October, in the beginning of October, instead of waiting 40 fucking days, a record-breaking 40 days, by the way, of a government shutdown to do all this bullshit. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So, moving on, I want to salute OutKast. OutKast made the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Salute to those brothers. It goes without saying, OutKast, pillar in hip-hop history, period. Just not for the South, but rap, period. They kicked down the door for the South at a time where New York rap, West Coast rap was dominating, and they had something to say, and these niggas remained consistent. I want to shout out to some of the performers they had out there. Josie Cat, she kind of fucked up the performance also. I don't think she even got her to do that. But even though I don't listen to Dog, Tyler Creator, he did a good job performing Bombs Over Baghdad. Salute to them. But it's dope to see Andre and Big Boy still in good spirits. Good to see those brothers still healthy, still doing their thing. But this is well overdue in my opinion for OutKast. Goes without saying. 4 or 5 without a doubt classics. And just, innovative more than anything with Organized Noise. RP Rico Wade, we all know what, the contributions he had for the game. I think he passed away a few years ago. So RP Rico Wade, but OutKast, man, it was just a pillar. Just not for the South, not for Atlanta, but for rap, period. Because, again, it was a time where, East Coast rap was dominating, West Coast rap was dominating, and they came in and brought in a new style, a new flavor, a new style of rap. And Niggas remain consistent all the way from 94 all the way up until '03. With Speaker Box and Love Below. But all in all, no, man, it was dope. It was dope to see them. It was dope to see them together. Everybody celebrate. Everybody on stage. Andre's speech was definitely heartfelt. Starting off in a small room, and it's funny because I remember that episode with Fab Five Freddy when he went and checked in with OutKast to see how they put all their music together, and they was in the dungeon and see how everything comes together, and it's just really a testament of their will to continue. You get what I'm saying? Like they could have easily gave up. It's like, man, this shit ain't gonna take off, but no, they stuck with it. Like I said before, man, you stick with what you're supposed to be doing, everything will work out how it's supposed to. So I want to shout out OutKast for doing that. Salute to those brothers, man. It's real. It was real dope to see them on stage, man. Real dope for them. And that's what I want to see. I express that all the time that, we want to see our rap legends grow old, be in great spirits, be in great health. Because a lot of them, man, we be losing them before the age of 60, man. We be losing them. We be losing a lot of our greats before the age of 60. I think both of them is around 50, 51 years old, somewhere around there. So it's real dope to see that, man. So again, salute the OutKast, man. So we have some new music dropped this week. I want to start off first with Wale with Everything Is a Lot. So I remember he had a couple of tracks earlier this year that he dropped for anticipation of this album, Where to Start with the SWV sample. And all I have to say about this album is Wale did a great job, man. He really did. He really did a great job. It was dope to see. It was 18 songs, 52 minutes. Some of my standouts is Conundrum, Way to Start. I love that. Blanco, Miro Rana Benz. I like that. Watching Us with Leon Thomas, fire collab. That was a fire record. Tomorrow Today, I like that. Fly Away, Corner Bottles, and Like I with Andrew Day. So salute. All the features were dope. The features on here, you had Leon Thomas, BNYX, O'Deal, City on Fire, another dope record with Wale and O'Deal. Shout out to O'Deal, he been doing this thing. Survive with Ty Dolla $ign, Nino Paid, and Shabuzi on track 18, Lonely. So salute to Wale, man. I know he was doing a couple of press run early this year. I figured the album would have dropped earlier when he was doing his press run. I remember he was on Budden Podcast. He sat down with some other people as well. Excuse me. But yeah, man, this is a dope album. I like when Wale drops because Wale, he pretty much stays consistent. Wale also has a tendency to sometimes shoot himself in the foot with how he responds to the criticism of his music. But during this one, man, I just gotta salute him. I don't really got too many critiques at all. If I had to give it a rate, I'd probably give it a solid 7.5, 8. 7.5, 8. Very, very great work. And honestly, I think the standout, I think with City on Fire, I think that's a record that he should push. O'Deal has been doing this thing. Watching Us with Leon Thomas, that seems to be another favorite amongst people. I like the intro a lot. Conundrum, I like the way that he came in on that. So again, salute to Wale, man. I'm interested to see if he's gonna do a tour, continuously rolling out music. Because there was a time where I kind of felt like Wale was just gonna give up on this music shit. Like it just felt like, he just hit a wall with that shit. But Wale, he came in during the blog area, definitely part of that 09, 2010 window where a lot of the rappers was coming down, kicking down the door. And Wale, for his he don't really got no standout classics, but he's always remained consistent. I can always count on Wale to give me a few dope records throughout his tenure, and he continues to do that, man. I love Where to Start. Where to Start might be my favorite record off this album. I would say if I had to pick Where to Start, City on Fire with O'Deal, and then Watching Us with Leon Thomas. Those will probably be my three standouts from this album. Everything Is a Lot. I could tell that he really sat down. He wanted to make sure that everything was good with this. I felt like the rollout could have been a little bit better because, again, when I saw him sitting down with a couple of people a few months ago, I thought the album was going to come in. But, it's here now. It's November. I ain't really tripping, but it's good to see that, Wale's putting out some dope music, man. Real dope music. So, next up on the docket as far as new music, you have Summer Walker with her new album. Her highly anticipated project. Let me go ahead. Let me pull this up. Summer Walker with Finally Over It from her trilogy. You know, her first album in 2019, Over It, and then you had Still Over It 2021, which both were, in my opinion, classics. I like Over It, and I do like Still Over It. Finally Over It, I think it's a good album. I don't think it's nothing that stand out. If I had to pick some of my standout records on here, I do like the intro. The intro is fire. I like Scars. I do like 1-800 Heartbreak with Anderson Paak. I do like, where's the other? Oh, number one with Brent Fayez, and I do like Baby with Chris Brown. So those would probably be my three standouts for sure. Everything else, as far as the features, they kind of fit. I don't really want to hear 21 Savage though in Summer on the Track. I don't really want to hear 21 Savage on R&B tracks. Period. I just don't feel like he got the voice for it. So that's it. Other than that, she could have kept that feature. Bryson Tiller, even her and Bryson Tiller on "Give Me a Reason," that was a pretty dope record. But if I had to give this a album rating, I give it a solid 7. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. Like I said, nothing too crazy. It's not a bad album. It's a good, solid work. The second track on here with Mariah the Scientist, pretty dope. Go Girl with Lotto and Doja Cat, that was cool. There's not really no bad tracks on here. It's really not, but it's nothing. There's nothing that's really, really crazy also on here. So again, salute to Summer Walker. Salute to Summer Walker for Finally Over It. The album cover is hilarious though. I can't remember the lady who she was imitating with that. It was a white lady. I can't think of her name. She passed away some years ago. The infamous picture that she had, was it some Anderson? I can't remember. I can't remember her name. But she basically uh she paid homage with her cover with that. If you see the original picture, you'll see what I'm talking about with her and the old white guy and shit like that. But basically, this is I feel like this album was more so Summer Walker saying like, with Over It, it was like, you know what, I'm done, but I'm gonna give this nigga a chance. Uh, Still Over It, yeah, I'm over it, but I'm gonna give this nigga another chance. And then Finally Over It is like, man, I guess to the point now, it's like, fuck these niggas, but if he got some money, then I'm gonna roll with him. That's kind of what this cover is giving me, because you ain't gonna tell me you with this old white man on the cover for just because you like this dude. Nah, he got some money. He got some money flowing in. Heart of a Woman was a dope single too. I think she rolled that out earlier this year. Heart of a Woman is a dope track as well. But if I had to say the best one on here, I like 1-800 Heartbreak with Anderson Paak. He smoked that shit. And number one with Brent Fayez, and then Baby with Chris Brown. And it's a double disc. Salute to her for doing a double disc. Both track disc one is 9 tracks. Disc two is 10 tracks. So salute to Summer Walker for that. I wonder if she's gonna continue this or that'll be the end of it as far as that. But when you're doing a trilogy like that, it's pretty good to pretty much just keep it at 3. So I'm interested to see what her next album will look like, what collab she's gonna do, if she's gonna go on tour. But I think with Summer Walker, she kind of got to tap into not necessarily as far as the content, because I don't really care about the content too much, but maybe kind of introduce maybe a new angle, like the flip side of it, like her falling in love, probably, because that'd be a perfect segue. You get what I'm saying? Throughout the trilogy, been like, oh, fuck these niggas, I'm over these niggas. Maybe she could paint a new picture crossing over to some new projects where, she's in love. I think it'd just be a perfect layup. Like, you kind of came from that side, now you're on the other side where you're finally in love and shit like that. I think that'd be something that she consider as far as an idea. So salute to Summer Walker for that. That is Finally Over It. If you got a chance, go check that out. That dropped Friday as well. Also, next up, Meek Mill. Now, I always love when Meek Mill drops some music. I fuck with Meek. Meek dropped the EP called Indie Pack Volume 1, 4 tracks, Save Yourself, How Far We Came, Free Smoke, 4th of July, featuring Friday. I love that How Far We Came. I love Say Yourself. I've always said this about Meek. I feel like Meek is one of the best pain rappers. I've always felt like Meek Mill is one of the best. When it comes to rapping that pain on the track, he gonna give you that. Of course, earlier this year, him and Friday had a record. I can't remember what the name of it was. They had a video for it, but Meek was rapping on that one. Definitely rapping on that one. But this 4th of July track with Friday, dope as well. Dope as well. How Far We Came. So I'm interested to see when Meek is going to drop his album, because I always love when Meek drops music. Meek Mill don't got not one bad project, honestly. Not even when he was going through his whole thing, when he was in and out of jail and shit like that. Every time Meek came back, Meek gave you a dope album. My favorite album from him is Dreams Worth More Than Money. I love Dreams Worth More Than Money. I think that's his classic album. His first album kind of was it was alright. But after that, Meek kind of pretty much stayed consistent. He never really dropped no duds. When he dropped championships, I love championships. Excuse me. But I love championships. Meek got busy on championships. But Meek never really disappoints. Again, let me just going through his. You got Dreams Worth More Than Money. Wins and Losses might be his classic. That might be his best album. Expensive Pain was dope too. I love Expensive Pain. Him and Ross dropped a collab in 2023. I forgot about that shit. That shit really wasn't hitting on nothing for real though. And of course you got DC4, but that's more so like a mixtape. You got, of course, this mixtape series that he put on. Excuse me. With Dream Chasers, so you got Dreams Worth More Than Money, Dreams and Nightmares. Then you had Wins and Losses might be his best album, if I had to say. Yeah, just thinking about it. It's between Wins and Losses and Dreams Worth More Than Money. I might give the edge to Dreams Worth More Than Money, but this indie pack is dope. I hope this is anticipation for his full length album. Hope that comes soon. I don't know if Meek is with a label though. I don't think Meek is with a label anymore. I think the last time Meek was with a label, was he with Def Jam? I think he was with Def Jam. So I don't know what that's because this was distributed by Dream Chase. No, it's under Dream Chasers, but it's distributed by STEM. I've never heard of them, so this must be some new shit. So I'm interested to see what Meek is gonna do as far as his next album, who's gonna be backing him as far as that. But I do know that I don't think Meek is under a major anymore. I do not think he's under a major anymore. So that'd be interesting to see how he rolls out with that as well. But man, it was a good Friday for music. Shout out to everybody who got busy. I'm trying to see if I miss anybody before I move on. Cause rap has been definitely in a good place. Again, I spoke on this last week as far as, because everybody was talking about, the whole Billboard shit. I never really wasn't paying attention to no shit like that anyway. But yeah, nonetheless, I think we're gonna end the year on a high note. Lola Brooke dropped a project. I haven't listened to that. I gotta check that out. I'm not really a G Herbo fan, but I know there's some listeners that listen to G Herbo. I've heard some good things about his music as well. I might have to check that out. T Grizzly dropped. I haven't had a chance to check that out. So yeah, man, shout out to everybody who dropped this week. Again, shout out to Wale. Shout out to Summer Walker. Shout out to Meek Mill for giving us these dope projects. Really no complaints, man. Everybody got busy. I'm trying to see if I missed something that I wanted to cover. So no, that's pretty much it. Oh, last week. I want to say this real quick. Uh who's the guy? Let me see before I move on to this. Let me see, because I missed it last week. I want to say RP to Marshawn Kneeland, man. He passed away, unfortunately, last week from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was only 24 years old to play for the Dallas Cowboys. I missed that last week, and my apologies because I do cover sports on this podcast, so I didn't want to make it seem like, I didn't, care to cover that because I did mistakenly miss that last week. So I want to say RP to Marshawn Kneeland, man. Definitely, I want to say RP to him. And, condolences to his family, man. That's tough. And especially us as black men, man. Please check in with your loved ones. Check in with your homies. Make sure that everybody's good. You never know what somebody's going through. Because he just has scored his first career touchdown on Monday Night Football versus the Cardinals. And, based off his social media, he was kind of giving like hints of transition and shit like that. I never followed him on social media, so I don't know. But man, RIP to Marshawn Kneeland, man. That's so sad. 24 years old. That's way too young. And I think his girlfriend is pregnant. I know the Dallas Cowboys are putting together a fund to make sure that they are set for life as well. So salute to them for doing that. But man, to lose your life at 24 years old is suicide, man. That's terrible, man. That's terrible. Again, condolences to his family, his loved ones. I never want to see our black brothers go out like that, man. Never. Never, man. That's tough. It's tough, and you got to speak up, man. You got to speak up whenever you're going through something. Don't feel ashamed. Don't be trying to just get up every day going through the pain, because all you're doing is suppressing it. All you're doing is suppressing it, man. All you're doing is suppressing it. So please make sure you tap in, you check in on your loved ones, even if you're not going through something. Checking on your friends, even though y'all might see each other all the time on social media. It's nothing to send a text, send a call, be like, hey, you good? You straight? All right. Make sure we good. So R.I.P. to Marshawn Kneeland, man. That story was so unfortunate, man. It's so sad. So moving on into some sports news, man. Nico Harrison is fired. Got him out of here. Less than a year after making the worst trade in sports history. So this firing happened, I think, on, let me see. I think that happened on Tuesday. I think it was long overdue, in my opinion. I think that was I think it was let me see. Yeah, that was Tuesday. That was Tuesday. Dallas Mavericks announced the departure of Nico Harrison. Dallas Mavericks Governor Patrick Dumont today announced that the organization has relieved Nico Harrison of his role as general manager and president of basketball operations effective immediately. In conjunction with this decision, the Mavericks have appointed Michael Finley and Matt Riccardi as co-interim general managers to oversee basketball operations. This decision reflects our continued commitment to building a championship caliber organization, one that delivers for our players, our partners, and most importantly, our fans, say Dumont. The Mavericks named Harrison general manager and president of basketball operations on June 28, 2021. In his first season with the team, the Mavericks posted a 52-30 record and advanced to the Western Conference Finals during the 2021-22 season. Dallas reached the finals during the 23-24 season, their first final appearance since their 2011 championship season. So everybody pretty much knows why Nico got fired. They can say all this other shit. But I do remember a lot of people saying that Dallas, they won that trade. Dallas defense wins championships. Hey, listen. Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. Since y'all want to play in niggas' faces again. So the Dallas Mavericks are currently 3-10 with the third ranked defense in the NBA. I keep telling y'all time and time and time and time again. When it comes to basketball, defense will never trump offense. That's not to say defense is not important, but defense will never be more important than offense. They can't score. You got the third best defense in the NBA and you're 3-10 on top of Anthony Davis not playing. Kyrie Irving, he's out. So miss me with this defense shit. I don't want to hear that. You gave up the 25-year-old Luka Doncic, who's arguably the best player in the league, who's also on a tear right now. MVP caliber type season. All because you didn't like him. All because you didn't like him and you was trying to paint a narrative. Nico Harrison does not deserve another NBA GM job. That's the fact of the matter. He does not deserve another NBA GM job. And I can't wait to see the documentary that comes out behind this. Because I had to see the behind the scenes coverage of what the fuck he thought was going to happen. They're talking about Anthony Davis trades and all this other. Keep him far away from Chicago. I don't want him in Chicago. I'm seeing that's the... Don't fuck up nothing we got going on. We will be all right. We're on the rise. Anthony Davis is on the decline. There's no way that you can defend that trade, point blank period, and that's why he got fired. And that's ultimately why he get fired. People are saying that Nico Harrison is a scapegoat. Scapegoat for what? This was his... Shams even reported on it because Stephen A. Smith had asked him on First Take. He was like, I'm hearing rumblings that, management, ownership is kind of like using Nico as a scapegoat. They really was the ones who facilitated this trade. It was their idea. Can you confirm? Sean said straight up, no, this was Nico Harrison's idea, 100% his idea. Nico Harrison said it was his idea. So don't try to pass the buck. Don't try to pass the buck on ownership. I don't want to hear that. I knew ownership really wasn't completely sold on this trade, but they trusted Nico. He's a GM. As an owner, you That's why you hired a guy. You trust him. But I know they woke up that morning like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But he got their best wishes. And in turn, you come into the season, Cooper Flag. First of all, you're using Cooper Flag wrong. You playing this motherfucker as a point guard. Cooper Flag is not a point guard. That's number one. Number two, you're just not generating enough offense. Anthony Davis, he's in and out the lineup. Again, Kyrie Irving, we don't know. He's injury prone too. But there's no way that they was going to win this trade on the short or the long term. So I think this firing was way overdue in my opinion. He should have been fired when he made the fucking trade. But, you know, of course, you got to let shit breathe. I understand it from a business standpoint. But all I can say is Godspeed, man. I mean, it just is. There's no way to defend it. There's just no way to defend it, bro. It's no way to defend it. And this is off the heels of them making the finals in 2024. They was like 1 year removed from making the finals, bro. You continuously build on that. But no, like I said, I can't wait for the documentary to come out because I really want to know what the fuck happened between Nico and Luka. That's really what all this. Something happened to where a point he was like, nah, fuck this basketball shit, fuck all this other shit, fuck logic. I'm getting this motherfucker out of here. So I want to know what happened with Luka and Nico that had this man be like, nah, I gotta get him the fuck out of here. He has to go. He has to go. Cause that just didn't make sense. That just didn't make sense. That didn't make sense. So I'm interested to see where the Mavericks go from here. They got to blow it up. In my opinion, since you fired Nico Harrison, you have to blow it up. Blow it up. Build around Cooper Flag. That's your franchise player. You build around Cooper. That's what you do. You don't keep going with this whole. You have to basically undo all this bullshit that Nico Harrison did. That's what you have to do. If you're the Dallas Mavericks, you now have to undo all this fuck shit that Nico Harrison did. Because that's what he did, some fuck shit. Go ahead, blow the team up, build around Flag, get Anthony Davis out of there, get Kyrie Irving out of there, all that. Get it all, just be done with it. Be done with that whole shit. Any stench of Nico Harrison in the Dallas Mavericks organization, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get it all done. Everything that he acquired in terms of that trade, get rid of it. Get the stench away. Get it all done so the fans can have something to look forward to for the future. There should be no connection with anybody on this team with Nico Harrison going forward. Get it done, get it out of here. So next up on the firing docket, Giants fire Daboll. See? I said this. I said this. I said they should not. Daboll ultimately fired himself. But the Giants are stupid too. But Daboll should have never put Jackson Dart in the starting lineup. He should have never did that. I think he sealed his fate kind of when he did that. And I said this on a few episodes ago. Your best interest as an NFL coach is winning. Period. Jameis Winston should have got the starting job after you bench Russell Wilson and then you moved. If you wanted to move Jackson Dart up to the second on the depth chart, that's what you do. But your number one priority as a coach is winning. Jameis Winston was going to give you the best chance to win. But instead of doing that, you go ahead and you put in Jackson Dart because what you thought was going to happen, oh, if I put this rookie quarterback in, I kind of should be safe because he's a rookie quarterback and da-da-da. No, they fired this man mid-season, which, in my opinion, doesn't make sense. You should have just let him play it out the season, being in the fact that you do have Jackson Dart in. Now, I know in the last game against the Bears, they blew that lead. Jackson Dart left the game with a concussion or something like that. But there was no reason to fire him now. You should have just let him ride it out. But I saw this come. I just didn't think it would be this early. Because what was going to be the ending scenario? You put Jackson Dart in, you still losing. So what was it for? You should have just let that Jackson Dart sit, develop. Then if you want to give him starts at the end of the season, put him in towards the end of the season. You do not put him in early in the season with the construction of this team, especially when you got Jameis Winston. You put Jameis Winston in, let him sit, soak it all up. Because you throwing him right in there is not going to do you no justice. And it's not. It's not. What are their what's the Giants record right now? Let me see. Let me see these Giants. What's their record? These niggas are currently. Oh man. Mm-mm-mm. So they got 1, 2. Hold on, I got it. Mm-mm-mm. Look at the Giants record real quick. The Giants are currently 2-8. 2-8. I think Jameis Winston could have at least had you about 4-6, maybe 5-5, just from a veteran presence, experience factor. I'm not saying Jackson Dart hasn't looked, he's looked solid, but he wasn't the guy that you just throw. He was drafted like 20 something overall. There wasn't no rush to put him in there, but what you thought was going to happen was you was going to put this rookie quarterback in, and however the chips may fail you, your job was going to be safe. And it's unfortunate because this continues the trend of the Giants doing dumb shit. Just doing dumb shit. It doesn't make any sense. So I don't understand. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. I don't get it. The interim is not gonna get a fair shake either. So I don't know why. I think who's the interim? Mike Kafka. He's not gonna get the head coaching job. So all of this was for what? What was this for? I feel like the Giants are in a place where they're just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks, because this didn't make no fucking sense to fire Daboll. It wasn't like he was the reason. But a part of it is self-inflicted. It's self-inflicted. You should have sat him. You should have sat him. Moving on next. That's hilarious. Bradley Beal out for the season. Hip. Hey, listen. Bradley Beal, ski mask, Hall of Fame participant, first class, first ballot, all of that. Go ahead and hang it up. Go ahead and hang that shit up, dog. Go ahead and hang it up. Bradley Beal, since that Wizards tenure, downhill. He has never got back to a place to where he's playing like the all NBA 2-guard that he was his last couple years in Washington. And with this hip injury, chances of him bouncing back to that type of slim to none. Slim to none. So Bradley Beal, in my opinion, I think he needs to hang it up. Hang that shit up, bro. Like, it is what it is. You had a good run, but it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, man. And, again, with this being a hip injury, let me see. And he gonna get surgery on that shit too. Yeah, the Los Angeles Clippers announced Beal will undergo surgery to repair a hip fracture. Beal was averaging 8 points, 1 assist on 37% shooting through a mere 6 games for the Los Angeles Clippers prior to the injury. He's coming off his stint with the Suns where him, KD, and Book, that didn't work out. He spent 11 seasons with the 32-year-old. Yeah, it might be time for Bradley Beal to hang it up. It might be time for him to pack that up, bro. It might be time. He was a good dude. And, with James, I'm seeing what James Harden is doing with the Clippers. Salute to him. He doing his thing. But Kawhi Leonard, he's out as well. That whole shit, too, needs to be done. I salute to James Harden for doing this thing, but I don't see a situation where the Clippers are going to be any type of threat. I don't. When it's all said and done, they're going to get to the playoffs. They're going to fold. Somebody's going to get hurt, or they just lay down in the game 6, game 7. So even with the addition of Bradley Beal, I didn't think it moved the needle anyway. I really didn't see it moving the needle anyway. So, I mean, they can, I don't know. They need to just move off of him. I wonder what was his deal anyway. I think he only signed a 1-year deal anyway. So, I mean, Bradley, let me see what he signs for. Brad signs. Let me see. I think it was only a 1-year deal. Oh, it was a 2-year, $11 million deal. So, yeah, I don't know. Again, move on from that nigga, man. It's over. It's cooked. It's cooked. But as far as this NBA season, man, so far, like, hey, man, it's been a great start to the season, man. It's been a great start to the season. Luka Doncic, Giannis, SGA got the Thunder goddamn 11-2, and he's played 8 games not playing in the fourth quarter. That's correct. 13-1 actually. 13-1 actually. So everybody doing their thing, man. Everybody is doing their thing. Shout out to Joker, man. I keep telling y'all, man, this nigga is making history in real time. Real fucking time. This man just had a 55-point triple-double a few games ago. That was insane. Let me see, what game was that? He had 55, 12, and 6 versus the Clippers on Wednesday on 78% shooting. First time ever that has been done. Nobody is doing what he's doing at his position ever. And again, I only got one center over him all the time. That's Hakeem Olajuwon. Everybody else, he got him wiped down. He has them wiped down. It just is what it is. He's continuing to get better. That's the crazy thing. He's continuing to get better. Like, he's still in his prime. He's making history in real time, bro. This man is currently averaging 28, 13, and 10 on 67% shooting. What the fuck are we talking about right now? What are we talking about right now? There's nothing to discuss. Like him and Luka. Oh man, let me get to Luka real quick. Luka, who's currently leading the NBA in scoring, averaging 34, 8. You could basically say 9 because it's 8.9. He's currently averaging 34, 9, and 9 on 47% shooting from the floor. Insane. I had him averaging 33, 9, and 9. He's averaging 34, 9, and 9. Y'all gonna stop playing with these niggas. Y'all gonna stop playing with these niggas, bro. This shit is insane. Coming off a game where he just had 41, 9, and 6 versus the Bucks. Hey, Luka's on a fucking tear, bro. Luka is on an insane tear, bro. And he came back. I tell you, he's coming back for blood, bro. He's coming back for blood. But him and Joker literally, we're not gonna see nothing like this from a center ever again. I just don't see it. I don't see it. So you better appreciate what the fuck we seeing in real time right now. You better appreciate what we're seeing in real fucking time right now from Joker. This is some insane shit. The splits that he's been putting up doesn't make any fucking sense, bro. Like, look at these shooting percentages over the last couple games that he's been putting up, bro. Let me pull this shit up. Cause this is fucking ridiculous. This field goal percentage over his last 5 games. 80%. He had 26, 9, and 9 versus the Warriors shooting 80%. 71%. 84%. 78%. 53%. What the fuck are we talking? This man had 35, 15, and 7 on 84% shooting. Like, bro, you don't do shit like that, bro. That's you're just not doing shit like that, bro. Who else is doing that? Who else is doing that? 8 of 15, 8 of 23, 16 of 19, 10 of 14, 12 of 15, 12 of 18, 14 of 22. Come on, bro. Nah. That's alien shit. You just don't, you're not getting this from another center all time, bro. You're not. Niggas gonna have to start having these conversations, man. I've been having them since 2020. I told y'all he was the best center in the league then. I don't want to hear about Embiid. Embiid is great. Joel Embiid has never been better than Nikola Jokic. Never. He's never been better than the Joker. He's always been number 2. He's always been number 2. Shout out to Giannis too, man, because Giannis been on the fucking tear. I sung Giannis praises. Giannis continuously just he's only trailing one. He's currently second in the NBA in scoring. He's averaging 32, 11, and 7 on 63% shooting. Insane. I've always said over the last 3 years, his stats have been better than his back-to-back MVP years, 2019 and 2020. Like, his last 3 years, he's averaged 30, 11. He's averaged 30 and 11 on 61% shooting. That was 2023, 2024. 2024, 2025, he averaged... No, 2022, 2023, he averaged 31 and 11 on 55% shooting. The next season, he averaged 30 and 11 on 61% shooting. Last year, he averaged 30 points, 12 rebounds on 60% shooting. This year, he's averaging 32, 11 on 63% shooting. What the fuck are we talking about right now? He's still in his prime, going up. Of course, I have my own feelings about how he handling this whole trade shit. He need to go ahead and just ask for the trade because the Bucks ain't doing shit. I don't care what he say. The Bucks ain't doing a goddamn thing. But this is a historic run right now we seeing from Giannis and Joker and Luka. What them three are doing right now is on some historical shit. But man, this motherfucker is getting busy, bruh. Like his MVP years, he averaged what 27. He averaged 27 and 12 on 57% shooting. The next year, his back-to-back MVP year, 2020, he averaged 29, 13 on 55% shooting. He is clearing those MVP years, bruh. He's clearing those MVP years. Clearing them. So salute to them guys, man. College football had a dope weekend as well. Had a few major games. All I got to say is South Carolina, you going to hell. South Carolina had a 33 lead on number 3 ranked Texas A&M going into halftime. Them niggas lost 31-30. Shane Beamer should be fired today. He should be fired. He shouldn't make it the next Saturday. Oklahoma, Alabama, that was a classic game. Oklahoma went into Alabama and handled business 23-21. Salute to Oklahoma. Their defense showed up. Georgia put belt to ass on Texas, 35-10. So they're 9-1. Alabama's 8-2. Oklahoma's 8-2. SEC is packed. Texas A&M, they're 10-0. Indiana, they handle business versus Wisconsin. They remain undefeated, 31-7. Ohio State, they continue to handle business. They're 10-0. They beat UCLA 48-10. Jeremiah Smith continues to be on a motherfucking tear. I keep telling y'all, bro, this motherfucker is. You put him in the league right now. You put Jeremiah Smith in the league right now. He is a top 10 wide receiver, without a doubt. And he's still got another year to play in college football due to the rules. He still has to play another year in college. This motherfucker is I think he broke a record for quickest to 25 TDs, receiving TDs or something like that. Like, this motherfucker is getting busy. Currently 69 catches, 900 yards, 10 TDs. Bruh. Insane. And what he did as a freshman, he had 76 yards, 1,300 yards, 15 TDs. Yeah, come on, bro. I think he was the fastest at 25 TDs, if I'm not mistaken, for Ohio State. Like, what he's doing is fucking insane. Doesn't make any sense, bro. Some other big games. Let me see. Georgia Tech, they squeaked out a victory versus Boston College. USC beat Iowa in the top 25 matchup, 26-21. So I'm interested to see how this college football playoff is how it's gonna roll out, how the rankings are gonna look. Let me see what they're looking like right now. College football, Ohio State ranked number 1, Indiana 2, Texas A&M 3, Alabama 4, they're gonna drop. Georgia 5, they're gonna move up. Texas Tech, they're 6, Ole Miss 7, Oregon 8, Notre Dame 9, Texas 10, they're gonna fall. Oklahoma should move up into the top 10 after beating Alabama, so yeah. But the most egregious shit I seen yesterday was that South Carolina loss. That was fucking insane. Them niggas gotta go to hell for that. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, we're coming up towards like the end of the college football season where, you know, we got the rivalry games coming up. These games are going to be more strict now. There's no room for error. This ain't the time to be catching L's. If you was going to catch an L, you should have caught them on the front end of the season. But yeah, man, we getting there. So salute to the college football season, man. So that's pretty much I got for this week, man. I want to thank y'all for continuously tapping in with me, checking in with me. Again, 28 straight weeks in this motherfucker, man. Continue to please chase y'all goals. Remain consistent. Get your ass in that gym. The gym will do great things for you. And ultimately, please be safe. So like I say every week, this is I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. I'm out.